Last session, we were talking about the basic configuration. So these are the basic configuration settings, what we would require. So we have to do those configuration setup in the system. So, so let me do one thing here. Because we have a existing node, so then we can refer these existing nodes so that we can move forward. Mhm. Okay, fine. Okay, so let us start the configuration here. So being as a functional consultant, what we have to do, as I mentioned in the previous sessions also, so we have to do the configuration. So why we would require the company code? Because as you are aware, if you want to feed the day-to-day business transactions into the system, let's say, okay, Tata, under Tata Group, we have n number of business entities, like one company code, let us say, one is the Tata Motors, which is related to where they are going to manufacture a vehicles, then they are selling. Let us assume, even though they are also having the software, okay, Tata Consultancy Services. So, and also they are also having the different Tata Power, it is there, Tata Chemicals, it is there. So they are having the different kind of businesses. So each and every business, they would like to record their business transactions into separate. So for each and every business transaction. So in order to identify that one, because if we are not going to record the business transactions in separate, like one, I mean the source transaction would be which is happened in, let's say, Tata Motors. Another one is happened into the Tata Chemicals. Then only we will come to know the financial reports. In the financial reports, what would be the organization performance, how it is going to perform. So that is the reason we would required to define a company. Separate company is a group. I will explain one by one. First, let us go with the define a company. Okay. So now go to the path SPRO, enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, define company here. So let us define the company. Tata. Let's assume, okay, if we are defining this one, we need to check, because since it is a practice system, is there anyone already defined here? See, somebody TATA1, somebody has already been defined here. Okay, see, the company, somebody has defined here, Tata. So Tata, it is there, TATA1, somebody has been defined. Okay, let us define. Tata's 9 will define. Okay, Tata Group. Tata Group. country, language. So we must have to key. Now currency. So by which currency this Tata Group is going to post the business transactions. Enter. So this is just a group level only. I'm just creating the company is a nothing but a group. But let me come to the explanation here. Tata Group, what we have created. So now define a company. Define a company. So what we have defined? We have defined a company is a Tata Group. But for what purpose the company would require? We must have to understand what is the purpose of the company. Okay, so the company is an organizational unit. Organizational unit where we can use for consolidation. Where we can use the consolidation, where we can use for consolidation purpose or consolidation. What is meant by consolidation? That we will talk about going forward. Okay, so now okay, the company is an organizational unit where we can use for consolidation purpose. Okay, what is meant by the consolidation? Let's say now we have a Tata Group. Okay, Tata Group it is there. Under Tata Group, we are having different kind of business as we discussed here. Let's say now even I am having it under Tata. Under Tata, I am having a, let's take the small example here. I'm having a under Tata. Let us think about this way so that okay. So under Tata, we are having is a Tata Motors, then TCS, okay, Tata Consultancy Services, Software Services, that's software, I'll put it here in the TCS. Then let us assume Tata Chemicals, Tata Chemicals. So now each and every, so these are the different businesses. Okay, so for each and every business has a separate legal entity. So now, but overall performance of the Tata Group, if the management would like to see, so Tata Motors as well as software as well as Tata Chemicals, they would like to club together all company codes related data, then they will see the group level, the report. The group level, they will see. Okay. So group level, they will see in the sense, then, one second. So the group level, what will happen here? Entire Tata group level, they will come to know what is the performance of the Tata group. So for this purpose, the company can be used. So now we have created the company. So now let us create a company codes. Company codes here. Second step would be, you can see here, define company codes here. The second one is a define company codes. Define company codes here. So now the company codes, let me go back. Edit and check delete company codes, the same path. Click on this one. Click on edit company codes. Click on new entries. So now let us create the T001 or okay, TA01. TA10 it is there. TA01 is not there. Okay. Tata Steel. Okay, let us assume Tata Steel. Currency, language is a mandatory. These are the input parameters mandatory. We must have to key. So in which currency the business transactions are going to happen. And again, one more screen will pop up. See now, either it could be a company, person. You can select which one you want. Tata Steel. Tata Steel search term. Just for identification. India. Then language by default, which is appearing. Continue. Save it. Oh, sorry, I just forget this one. Okay, I will explain next. Next time I will create this one. This is the one important thing what we need to discuss here. Okay, I'll do one thing. Okay, I just stopped that one because I would like to show the transport request. Okay, so the transport request is one of the important thing. Financial enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting. Let me go here. T001, so which is not created. Let me create the new one. So, okay, TA01, right? Okay, let me come back. TA01, not yet created. Let me create from the scratch. Tata Steel by then enter. Select which one you want. Here. Okay. So now, as soon as once we feed this information, continue, click on continue. So here you can see what does it mean? What does it mean? Because I will create a new transport request. The description, whatever you want, you can key short description. Basic settings of Tata Group. Okay, so now description, it is just for our reference only. Now continue. Okay, so now what is this number? Why it has been generated? Okay, we need to talk about more here. So now let it save this one. If you remember, in the beginning I have explained about we will have the three servers environments. Okay, during the basic concepts when we have discussed about development system, quality system, production system. These are the three systems. I mean, these are the three servers which we are having, as I mentioned. Now let us assume the current client is the current client. I mean, our current server. Current client 800 is a development server. Let us assume development server. Okay, so now let's say 900 is the client 900. I'll put it. Client 900 is the production, quality system. Then the next one is the client 950 is the, or else 999. I'll give 999 is the production. Just to understand this one. So now the configuration, whatever we are doing in development system, from here, I would like to bring the changes from development system to quality system. Okay, so in order to bring between the systems, again, once I will satisfy the changes in the quality system, then I need to move changes from quality to production system. So this is what the process. So in order to bring the changes between the systems, now I would require the transport request. Now we can see here. So the transport request, it will play the key role. By using the transport request, we can move the changes between the systems. Again and again, once I define the company codes, then again, no need to define in the quality system, no need to define them into the production system, since it will be the only one-time activity. Now, let's say which transport request it got created. Okay, the company. Okay, so now, okay, before going to discuss about the transport requests, what is the company codes, for what purpose? Okay, the company codes are the organizational unit, organizational units. Company codes are which we can use to draw the external reporting. So external reporting, what is meant by external reporting? So because as you remember, let us talk about Tata Steel. Let us talk about the Tata Steel. Okay, so the Tata Steel is a separate legal entity. Towards the end of the financial year, the management as well as shareholders and government authorities would like to know what is the performance of the Tata Steel for this financial year, whether the organization is running in profits or losses. Okay, so we must have to draw the report. So for that purpose, we must use the company codes. Okay, so the company codes can be used for the company codes are the company codes are the organizational units which we can use to draw the external reporting. Okay, external reporting are nothing but where you need to prepare the financial statements. We need to submit those reports to the government authorities as well as the shareholders of the organization. Okay, so now we just said, but what is meant by the transport request? So the transport request, it consists of two types of transport requests are there. We have two types of transport requests are there. Number one is a customization request. Another one is a workbench request. So what is the difference between both? So the customization requests, most of the cases will be generated by the functional consultants. So we are the functional consultant. As soon as once we do the configuration in the system, we must have to, we will generate the transport requests. So that will be the configuration changes will be associated with the customization transport request. Let me show you that one. In order to go to SC09 or SC10, now you can see transport organization, transport organizer. You can key the user who has created the transport request. You can see customizing request, workbench request, which one you want to view. Okay, select both. Again, this I will come later part. Okay, modifiable released. So now let me display here modifiable, which transport request I have created just now. You can see here basic settings of the Tata group. This is the transport request, what it has been created. Now, at this moment, this transport request consists of what changes? How we can see? Click on here, the plus symbol, click on plus symbol, request attributes, okay, request attributes, okay, manual changes, okay, come to this is the subtask, this is the parent transport, this is the child transport. Then click on this one again, click on the child transport request. What changes you have done? You can see the customizing table contents, then address information, what we have entered, you can see. So these are the configuration steps of what we have done. Again, you can go inside of this one. TA01 is the company code, what we have created. If you double click, okay. So now exactly what changes this table it consists. Okay. So now let me go to here. Let me go to here. Child transport, right? Let me go to here. Now come to the, you can see here. You can see here under the objects, click on this one. So now you can see what you have done. Okay, table T001, T001 table part I will come later. Okay, under this table, we have created the TA01. So now come down, click on this one if you want to see. So now what information you have entered here, you can see here. So now information TA001 address we have entered. Okay, different information what we have recorded, and that information is associated with this transport request. Now, okay, so workbench, so customization requests will be generated by the functional consultants. Then workbench requests, these requests will be generated by the functional consultants. Functional consultants, since the functional consultants are going to do the configuration. Okay, so now workbench requests are will be generated by the technical people, technical consultants, if there are any code changes in the program, then definitely we can generate the workbench request. So now we have the transport request. Now how to see the transport requests in the system. Okay, so how to see the transport requests in the system? Either you can use SC09 transaction, okay, SC09 SC09 to display the existing transports. Either you can use SC09 or SC10. SC10 also, either you can use SC09 or SC10 to display the existing transports. Okay, so now we are using these two transaction codes in order to display the transport requests. Okay, now my requirement would be, let's assume, so now I am in the client. This is my client where the client, yes, tell me. Hello, Viru, yes, Viru.
Sorry, sir, unmute. Sorry.
Okay, fine. Now the client 800. Now I just have done changes into the, let's assume in the development server. So now I want to bring these changes into quality system. Okay. So now how can I bring the changes from development system to quality system? So now what I need to do, we must have to release the transport request. This transport request, we must have to release this transport request. Either there are different ways are there to bring the changes. Okay, so now let me put it here. Once the configuration, so the configuration is done to bring the changes. Bring changes up to transport. I put it this one. Is done in development environment, development client. We need to move changes into quality system. So from quality to, again, as I mentioned, from quality to production system. Production system is nothing but where the business is going to use the day-to-day business transactions to feed their purpose. So now once the configuration is done in the development client, so we need to bring the changes. So in order to bring the changes, we have the way is the transport request. So how to bring the changes? Now the question is that, now the question would be how to bring the changes from development to quality development system to other systems, I think down the systems. So now we have the, as you remember, so I have already explained here. So once again, let me put this one. This is my development. This is my another system. Let me show you that practically what will happen in real time. Let's see that this is my development client is a 800. Okay. So now this is the quality system. Quality system is a 900 client. Let's say now production system is a 990 as we have seen. So now the changes are in this client. Now at this moment, I'll put it here. At this moment, the changes are in development server. So now here the changes. What are the changes which we have defined? Company we have defined. Then we have defined the company code we have defined. So these changes are which are there into the development server in 800 client. Now you can see I can go here. So this is my client is a 800 client, but I want to bring the same changes, the company and company code changes we want to bring into quality system. As of now, we have not transported the changes from here to here. So now you can please concentrate here. In order to transport the changes between clients, we have the following we have to follow, or we have the below methods. So either you can follow which one you want. Okay, either one you can follow. Number one is a release the transport request in source system and move to bring changes. Okay, and straightforward and bring changes into target system or target client. So what we can do in order to release the transport request. So now I would like to release the transport request. So now let's say this is my transport request what I have created. How can I release this transport request? What is the way to release the transport request? Okay. So now I will show you clearly here. Please concentrate here. So now let's say I'm going to take only this transport request as an example here. So now we have the below transport request. So now this is the transport request which I would like to move from client 800 to I want to move some other, I want to move to the some other client. So now how can I release? Okay, target, right? Now, how can I move this transport request? How can I release? As I mentioned, how can I release this one? So now in order to release the transport request, if I can go back, this is my main transport request. If you can see here, click on the release directly. Let's see what will happen. I'm not releasing this one. Let's see. Sorry, I want to show you that message. You can see referencing task WALK 903761 not yet released. The system is giving the information stating that you just first release the transport request of, child transport request, then you can release the main transport request. So meaning that during the TR, okay, transport release, we cannot release directly from, we cannot release main transport request. I put it, we cannot, during the transport release, we cannot release main TR directly. So first we must have to release the child transport first, then release the parent parent transport. So in our case, what is the child, what is the parent transport? I will differentiate here. So that let me take this one. So now I will put it here. Text, right? Okay. So now parent request, I'll differentiate now. Put it one more here. Child request. Okay. So now this is my parent transport request. Then this is my child transport request. Just this one bit. Now you can see. So now you can understand clearly what I'm trying to explain here. So now we must have to release the child transport first. Then only the system will allow us to release the parent transport request. So let me go back here. You can see first you can select this one. Select which you want to release, keep the cursor and click on the vehicle option, release directly. So let me go here. Now I'm in. Now you can see the system. Now you can see task 3761 has been released the request. Now this has been released successfully. Now system will allow us to release now child has been released, child transport. Now it is ready to release the main transport. Now let us go here. Release. Now we can see as soon as once you release, the transport request will be populate or will be appear in the released status. Now you can see it is not available. As soon as I refresh the released transports, we can able to still find here. Display the changes, the released transport we can still find here, but going forward again you cannot reuse this transport request. Remember, since you have already released this one. Okay, just remember we must have to release the child transport first, then release the parent one. Then once we release the transport request, once we release the transport request, it will be appear. It will be appear under released list. Then the important thing is that we cannot reuse once the transport will be released, we cannot reuse it. Remember, keep in mind, because since it already been released. Now the second one, release the transport request. The option number 1 we have seen. Then what is the option number 2 we are having here? So the option number 2 is a move changes, okay, without releasing the transport, we can import changes. Between clients by using SCC1 transaction code. So how SCC1 will be used? This is the second method what we are having in the system, in SAP system. So now let's assume which I want to import the changes. So first of all, how many clients are there in this server? I am not sure. Let me go and check. SC4, we will come to know here. So now we have two clients. One is a 00, another one is a 800 client. So where we are using the 800 client, we are already using. So now if I want to bring changes, go to transaction. The second way is a SCC1. SCC1. So now you can see, I mean, since the system target client is a production clients are products against the client. So now we cannot use this one, but I will show you some screenshots. Okay. So now since I do not have access the authorization here, so now by using SCC1, so in SCC1, I am not going to release this transport. I am not going to perform these steps. No need to release child request and no need to release parent request. Okay. So what I will do, I will give here in the SCC1, what is the source client? Okay. So now let's say now I would like to bring the changes from 800 client to 900 client, from 800 to 900 client. Then I will give in SCC1 what is the source client. Okay. So now in SCC1, what we have to mention, we have to key source client. So what is the source client we are having is a 800. Then task number. Okay. Task number of transport request, the task number. What is the task number which we are having? Okay, so now this is the, let's say, this is the task number. Okay, WALK 903761. This is the customization task number what I am having. Either you can key the transport or you can key the task number. Okay, so that the system will bring the changes from 800 client to another, I mean, let's say the 900 client. We must have to key the request number, but I will show you some screenshots in the next session. So now what we are doing here. So now successfully we have imported changes from development to quality environment. Okay, so let us continue the configuration. Okay, so far what we have discussed about the transport request, how to release that one, and what are the ways are there. So is it clear? Hello? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Audible.
Okay, so far what we have discussed, is it clear or any doubt about this one?
No, sir.
There is no doubt, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now let us continue the configuration. So now without release, now what we have done, we just have created the company codes. We have created one company code is a Tata Steel. Okay, TA01. The company codes, let me create multiple company codes here. TA, the company code which we have created. Let me see here. Okay, TA01. What I have created here is the TA01. TA01 is the Tata Steel. Then let me create the TA02. TA02 Tata Motors. TA03. Let me create the TA03 is the Tata Power. Let me create 4 or 5 company codes. TA04 is the Tata software. Let me create. Okay. So now these are the 4 company codes which we are going to create. So this one already created TA01. Then TA02. Create TA02. What is this one? Tata Motors. Tata Motors. So other parameters are the same. Okay. Continue. Now you can see system would require a new transport request since the old one already been released. So we cannot reuse that one. Basic settings of Tata. Okay. So let it save that one. So meanwhile, Tata Steel is located in India. Even this one, Tata Motors, also located in India. Tata Power, let's assume, which is located into the some other country. Let's say which is located into the Singapore. So Tata software, which is there in USA. Okay. So USA. So now, if this is the case, then legal entity or company codes, I put it. Company codes, country where they are located, currency. So now the important thing here is that currency we must have to. Now currency for Indian company codes, what we are going to, for Indian company codes, we are going to use is a currency, is a Indian rupees, INR. So here also INR. But now what about Singapore? Singapore is a Singapore dollars. USA is a, okay, instead of this one, I'll put it is a UK. So that we will have the euro. So now USA, what currency is a USD, the currency. Okay, and let us create the same scenario, then we'll see that one. Okay. So now TA01, TA02 also, which has created into the as a Tata Motors. Okay, so now it is in India. So now let me copy this one. Let me copy this one, TA01. Yes, now TA03. What is the TA03? TA03 is the Tata Power. So let's say which is in so now what is this one? Tata Power, it is in UK. I just put it here. Is the some country? Just for understanding the country UK, we must have to keep the country, not UK. For United Kingdom. There is a DS something. It is there. The Country is a Brazil. Okay, you can see GB. Okay, GB is the United Kingdom. Here is the GB, the identification of the country. So now currency always it will be the same. EUR, the currency is a, the language, let us use the same. Tata Power. Tata Power. Okay, always use the country. Country is a GB. Okay, so now system automatically it will derive this one. Tata Power. If you go and see the display the details, system will populate the details. Okay. So now let it same. So meanwhile, okay. So now T003 also created. Now let me create the T004. T004 is the Tata Software. Tata Software. Say that. Okay. So now here is the US currency is a US dollars. Then Tata Software. Now US. So the currency, okay, automatically it will populate the time zone under postal code. It's only 5 digits. It should have US. Yes. Now we have created the 4 company codes with different currencies. You can see here with different currencies. Now how it will be impacted going forward, we'll see that one. So now I have created the company codes. Now the next one is a assign company to company codes. So now what would be the relationship? Okay, these company codes which I have created 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 I have created. But now these company codes should be associated with my company, because the group level, if I want to draw the report at group level, the assignment is a mandatory here. Then under definition, assignment, financial accounting, assign company codes to company. Come here. So the company codes what we have created, TA01, you can see here, those are all already appearing here. Just here. So what is the company which we have created? T001. T. So TATA somebody has already been created. I go up here, I remember something we have created. TATAG, what we have created. So we will find this one here. This is the one what we have created. TATAG. So the same one we can assign for all the company codes here. Just warning message, different currency, what system is giving that one. Okay, anyhow, it is going to save. Now I'm going to, now I just have saved this one. So far what we have discussed, so is it clear? If you would require any further clarification, so please let me know so that we can discuss or I will clarify. Okay, fine. If there are no queries, then we can wind up the session. So we'll meet tomorrow. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.